Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Rehab Christian Center live virtual experience. I am Dr. Talley, and it is good to be with you this morning on this great and warm Sunday morning, and I'm grateful to be here with you. Listen, I've got a very I've got a very powerful word for you this morning, and man, I just tickle myself sometimes. I really got a powerful word for you this morning. I cannot wait to share it with you. And so listen, I need you to invite some people. Let's get some people into church this morning. I want to walk through the declaration. I'm going to dive right into the word so I can take my time today and still do it in a timely manner. But a powerful word today that I promise you is going to bless you in a tremendous way. And so I hope you'll tune in. So let's get going. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. On every network that you're on, good morning to you. And I'll just start with Facebook. Good morning, Facebook. It's good to see you virtually. Hopefully our connection situation is good this morning. It has had nothing to do with us, and I think everything to do with Facebook. Over the last couple of weeks, we've been having some challenges. But good morning to you. It's good to see you virtually. And certainly appreciate you, Facebook, for tuning in. Do me a favor, like this video, love this video, share this video, tag 5 people, tell them to tune in right now to this video. This is going to be a powerful message. I cannot wait to share it with you. So I need you to do that now. All right, do that for me, Facebook. Start tagging right now. Let's get the number climbing and let's get ready to have a powerful word experience this morning. Instagram, good morning to you. It's good to see you virtually. And certainly praying that you are having a fantastic week. Certainly, as I'm greeting the Instagram people, I'm thinking about Sister Michelle. Keep Sister Michelle in your prayers. Her father was very ill last night, and but seems to be recovering and doing okay. But please keep her in your prayers. You know, Sister Michelle, if you're on Instagram, she's always tuned in and has been a faithful support of our ministry. So please keep her in your prayers today. But good evening, good morning. Wow. Instagram to you. It's good to see you virtually. Thank you for tuning in. Do me a favor, fill it up with hearts. I want you to hit that @ symbol, tag 5 people quickly. Instagram, if you have not already, hit that @ symbol, tag 5 people, tell them to tune in. All right. YouTube, good morning to you. It's good to see you virtually. Thank you so much for tuning in and sharing with us this morning. If you're on YouTube, I want you to hit the like button. Like this video, this live video, and then I want you to hit that subscribe button so you can get notifications when we are live in the future. And then I want you to share this stream with 5 people. Now, we've got a lot of people that don't use a lot of social media, that don't do a lot of social media. And so YouTube is a perfect alternative for that. And so please, ma'am and sir, make sure you like this video and share it so that somebody can tune in and check it out. All right. All right, y'all, I got 9:12. I'm really ready to get into this message today. Pastor is, I can't wait to teach this one. This is going to be great. And I'm excited. And I hope you are as well. So again, tag 5 people. Hurry. Tag 5 people. If you have not tagged 5 people, I need you to tag 5 people right now. Tell them to tune into this message. And let's get prepared to teach what will be a powerful session this morning. Rocks and glass houses. It's going to be powerful. I can't wait to teach it. You're going to want to go back and watch this replay. So I need you to tag 5 people quickly. Come on, y'all. Facebook people don't invite nobody to church. They say good morning. Instagram people does all the inviting. Facebook, y'all just come in and say good morning. I need y'all to invite some people to church this morning, Facebook. If you have not tagged 5 people, I need you to do it right now. I need you to stop what you're doing. I need you to tag 5 people right now because I'm going to get into a critical message that I know someone needs to hear. And it's going to be powerful. I don't want anybody to miss it. All right. Y'all got 30 more seconds. Everybody on every network, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, every network that we're on, you got 30 seconds. I need you to tag 5 people right quick. Your tag is going to give them an alert on their phone that's going to nudge them out of bed so that they can tune in. I need you to tag 5 people really fast and tell them to tune in this morning to what is a very powerful message that I promise you is going to bless you in a tremendous way. All right, let's get into it. I want to get into the declaration. I'm prepared to read it and get us going this morning. And so I hope wherever you are, you take the opportunity to stop what you're doing, pause what you're doing, and repeat this with me. We say the declaration every single Sunday, whether in person or face-to-face. In person or virtually, because it is critically important what you declare every day that sets the tone for your day. Declarations, affirmations are powerful if you not only say them, but you truly believe what you say and you're very intentional about what you say. Remember, the power of life and death is in your mouth. And so it's so important that you monitor and watch what you say. And so let's walk through this declaration this morning. As we're going through it, I need you to be tagging people, inviting them to church, because as soon as this is over, we want to get into the word. All right, let's do this. All right, restore. I'm going to read it slowly, pause so that you can repeat after me. You ready? Let's do it. Restore. We declare that everything that is broken, lost, hurt, or destroyed that belongs to us and has been designed by God is restored. My faith is restored. My joy is restored. My mind is restored. Even my lost time is restored. I am no longer broken. The fact that I'm alive means I have another chance. My faith has restored me, and right now, His love is making me whole. Evangelize. Say it with me. We declare that God helped us so we can help somebody else. He loved me when I was unlovable. He changed me when I was a mess. His love lifted me when I was down. I'm not perfect, but I'm free. And anything that came for me can't keep me. Because I'm free, my circle is next. My family is saved. My friends are blessed. My plans are successful. My goals are ahead of schedule. And anything connected to me is blessed, just like me. Hope. Say it with me. We declare that everything that is missing is not lost. In Jesus, I have hope. And this hope makes me confident. It doesn't matter what happens to me or around me. I'm going to win. My relationships are winning. My goals are winning. My family is winning. This city will win, and my row has the victory. My past is defeated, and my future is brighter today than it was yesterday. Alternatives. Repeat it with me. We declare that God made us different. I'm a royal child, the light of the world, and the hope of my city. I respect the past, but I don't look like what I've been through. I love the church, and my life is balanced. I love coming to church, but I like flights, boats, and vacations. My whole life is blessed. I am the head and not the tail. I am above and not beneath. I am a lender, not a borrower. And every place I go belongs to me. Come on, let's do breakthrough. Ready? Let's do it. Breakthrough. We declare that God has a breakthrough with our name on it. I have some challenges, but I am not defeated. No weapon formed against me can prosper. And I know that all things are working for my good. Things are not breaking down. They are about to break through. There is a breakthrough in my career. There is a breakthrough in my home. There is a breakthrough in my health. There is a breakthrough in my finances. I am here on purpose, for a purpose, and everything that went wrong is getting ready to turn around. Did you read that and declare that with me this morning? I hope you did. If you did, I want you to type in the comments really quickly, as we've done all 2021. I want you to type in the comments really quickly. It's already done. Come on, hurry. Just type it in the comments now. It's already done. I'm here to declare to you that everything you have declared is already done. God's already working some things out for you. Everything on your prayer request list, everything on your stressed out list, God is working some things out, and he's working them out for your good, in your favor, in your benefit. I want you to type it in the comments now. It's already done. Come on, hurry, hurry. It's already done. It's already done. God's answering prayers. He's moving on your behalf. He's working it out in your favor. He's making things better. And I want you to be encouraged to know it today. Come on, type it. It's already done. It's already done. You need to tag somebody that you have not invited to church yet and tell them it's already done. Come on, hurry. It's already done. It's already done. God's working some things out. He's making some things happen for you. And you ain't got but one job. You got to believe it. You asked for it. You got to believe it, and then get ready to receive it. God's going to make some things happen for you. I'm so excited for what he's doing in your life, and I hope you are as well. Listen, let's get into this word. I'm excited. We are talking from the subject, rocks and glass houses. Rocks and glass houses. And this is going to be powerful. And so I want you to get ready to receive this word today. We're going to be coming from St. Matthew chapter 7, verse 1 through 5. St. Matthew chapter 7, verse 1 through 5. Rocks and glass houses. The topic should be on your screen. If it's not, I want you to type it on the screen so that everybody that watches the replay can see it as you're typing. If you have not invited 5 people, I need you to invite 5 people quickly. Tell them to tune in. This is going to be a very powerful message. This is going to be a message that is going to set someone free. So good to see you, Sister Michelle, and certainly still praying for Dad this morning. Listen, rocks and glass houses. Type it in the comments quickly. Rocks and glass houses. St. Matthew chapter 7, verse 1 through 5. Let's get it popping. This is going to be good. And I'm so excited. I'm just in the mood to teach this message today, and it's going to be powerful. All right, y'all ready? Have you tagged people? Start tagging people. That number's still moving a little bit. I need you to tag 5 people now and get them in the room. They're going to be glad they caught this one. All right. Rocks and glass houses. And I apologize. I'm coming out of the NIV. I'm coming out of the NIV this morning. Normally it's the NLT. My apologies. Y'all are jumping the gun, and it's my fault because I'm normally NLT, but the NIV had it in the way I wanted it today. All right. NIV, the NIV version. St. Matthew chapter 7, verse 1 through 5, NIV. I apologize. That's on Pastor. All right. Let's look at this. Rocks and glass houses. Now, before I get into all of this, let me say this to you. As believers, we have to understand the power of light and salt. I want to start here. As believers, we have to understand the power of light and salt. The Bible tells us in St. Matthew chapter 5, verse 13, that we are the light of the world. The salt of the earth, the city that sits on the hill that can't be hid. We have to understand that as believers, we have the power of light and salt. Neither of these elements, when you think about light, when you think about salt, neither one of these elements need anything else in order to be impactful. Light doesn't need dark in order to be impactful. Light doesn't need you in order to be impactful. Salt doesn't need food in order to be impactful. In fact, if you taste salt without food, you can still taste the bitterness of salt. Salt doesn't need nothing. It is what it is by itself, and it doesn't need anything else. And so as believers, we need to understand that if we are to operate as light and as salt, then technically, with or without help, regardless of our environment, regardless of our surrounding, we are what we are, and our impact never changes. Now, I want to say this to you. Whether you realize it or not, in your life, regardless of where you are spiritually or you see yourself being spiritually, I want you to understand that you have more impact over the lives of other people than you believe. I am always so amazed. If you ever want to measure, and it's so unfortunate with us, but if you ever want to measure someone's impact and really get a full grasp of people's impact, unfortunately, all you got to do is go to their funeral. You know, it's crazy. We wait until people die. We wait until people pass away before we then begin to acknowledge the impact that they have on our lives, or the impact that they've had on other lives. Right. And so this is why it's so critically important. You've heard me say this ad nauseum, especially over the last couple of months, that it's so important that you give people their flowers while they're living. If people have been good to you, you need to let them know. People have had an impact on you, you need to let them know. But it's crazy. If you go to a funeral, you can always see the impact that people have had, oftentimes, and it's after death. But I want to say this to you. Light and salt, all of you, whether you realize it or not, as believers, as people who say, I believe in God, I believe in Jesus, it's people who say that you have light and salt impact, which means regardless of what you say or do, it is your presence that has the ability to have impact on other people. Now, when you understand this, and when you know who you are, and you know who you belong to, this is the kicker. When you know who you are, you know who you belong to, and you fully understand this, then you are never interested in doing too much. Okay, I want to make this clear. When you know who you are, when you know who you belong to, you are never interested in doing too much. Pastor, what are you talking about doing too much? I'm talking about exactly what I said, doing too much. There comes a season in everybody's life where sometimes you just need to shut up and be quiet and sit down. Okay, are y'all listening to me? There comes a season in everybody's life where sometimes it's best to just shut up, sit down, and be quiet, right? There is such a thing as doing too much. And I'll say this to you. A friend of mine was telling me a few evenings ago that some people, had an impression of me that I met, and had an impression of me and said, he's real cool, but he's real quiet. He don't say a lot. He said back, that's perfect. I like that. The best impression you could ever get of me is that I don't do too much and I sit down and I mind my business. And let me tell you something. That's a powerful thing, because just because you're quiet and you sit down and you don't do too much doesn't mean you don't have impact, and doesn't mean you don't have influence. You have influence for real when you ain't got to talk and people can feel your presence. You have influence for real when you don't have to move and behave or show off, and you can just walk in a room and people feel your presence. And that's the kind of influence that all of you really as believers have. You have that kind of light and salt influence that when you show up, you have the ability to impact a room, to influence a room. And so when you understand this, then you understand there's no need to do too much. You ain't got to do too much in no area of your life to be impactful. I want to say this again. You do not have to do too much in any area of your life to be impactful. In fact, I'm here to tell you that the less you do in your life, in many cases, the more impactful you can be. In other words, less oftentimes is more, right? And I can give you many examples. When it comes to dress, less sometimes is more. I'm not talking about an occasional wild outfit where you want to just be flashy for a second. I'm not talking about that. But I'm talking about style and fashion for real, 101. Sometimes less is just more, right? And it doesn't mean you can't do more, but you understand that there's a certain quality and a certain class and a certain influence and a certain impact that just comes with just doing less, right? So we know that in dress. Sometimes that applies in relationships. Sometimes that applies in your career search, right? You're out here beating the pavement, begging people to give you an opportunity, begging people to open up a door for you. Listen, sometimes less is more. Sometimes it's best for you to just find your lane, get good at what you do, and keep working on what you do, and let opportunities find you. Less is sometimes more. And so when you understand that you're salt, when you understand that you're light, i.e. you understand you're salt, you can flavor things and add to things, or you just got flavor on your own. When you understand that you're light, you can brighten up rooms, or you just are light by yourself. When you understand that you are salt and light, then you don't allow yourself to do too much. And I want to say this to you, and this is a word for at least 50 of you this morning. I want to say this to you. Some of us need to embrace this season as a time to be quiet, reset, and refocus. I'm going to say it again. I need y'all to type this in, because some of you are in a season right now where, frankly, you've just been doing too much. You've been doing too much. You've been all over the place, right? Instead of you just allowing things to happen in your life, you've been trying to make stuff happen. And let me tell you something. Many of you need to embrace this season right here that you're in as a time to do three things: be quiet, reset, and refocus. I'm gonna give it to you again. Embrace this season as a time to be quiet, to reset, and to refocus. I'm gonna say it again. Many of you need to embrace this season that we're in right now as a time to be quiet. In other words, stop talking so much. Stop announcing everything you're doing. Stop announcing every way you feel. Stop, because most of the people you broadcasting it to, glad you got the problems you got. Stop announcing how you feel. Stop announcing what you're going through. Stop announcing what you're dealing with. Just shut up. This is a season to just be quiet and keep all of that to yourself. Find you a friend that you can really trust, or two that you can really pour into if you need it, or a therapist or a counselor. They work even better. But be quiet. Embrace this season of silence that you're in, because I'm telling you, sometimes the season of silence is your greatest season of revelation. It is not through the storm, the wind, the hail, the earthquake that oftentimes God moves, but it's through the still, quiet voice. Sometimes we can't hear his voice because we run in our mouth too much. And we've got too much noise in our lives, and you got to silence the noise that's external to you, but you got to silence your own noise. So number one, be quiet. Number two, reset. The good news about life is that you get this thing called do-overs. Yeah, I know they told you, well, you only get one life, you can't do it over. That's not true. You get one life, but you have many do-overs. You have many do-overs. So I want to encourage you now to understand that even if some things did not go well for you in the past, you have a chance to hit the reset button and try it again. All right? So do it over. If the career failed, do it over. If relationships fail, do them over. If opportunities that were given to you that you weren't quite prepared for, now you are prepared for, fail, do them over. Press the reset button, start over, and then finally refocus. Focus on the stuff that's going to help you, that's going to benefit you, that's going to pay you, that's going to love you, that's going to support you, that's going to push you. Some of us got our focus all over the place, and really you just need to press the pause button and get refocused on the things that reflect the direction that you're going. Listen, if it ain't paying your bills, it ain't your business. Oh, come on, talk to me. If it ain't paying your bills, it ain't your business. If it ain't healing your body, it ain't your business. If it ain't making your career better, it ain't your business. If it's not helping you establish your business, it ain't your business. We have to learn how to refocus and keep the main things the main things. And that's something that I'm getting really good at. I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting lethally good at. One of the things I noticed the last week or so, was just doing some writing and doing some thinking and journaling. And one of the things that I noticed about myself is that I might just be a little too spread thin. And let me just talk about me for a second, because I don't want to offend you. I might be just a little too spread thin, right? Just in so many spaces, trying to influence so many spaces. And something hit me like, look, Zeb, first of all, take a couple steps back. And instead of being in 12 lanes, really good, be in 5 lanes in an outstanding way. And that's called refocusing, right? We sometimes all have to refocus, regather ourselves, and determine where we should be putting our effort, where we should be putting our energy. Now, when you do this and you get refocused, right? You determine those areas of your life that you want to put your energy, you want to put your effort, you want to put your attention. When you determine those things, then this is what you got to do. You refocus, and then after you refocus, you got to start minding your business. Because see, here's the challenge to refocusing. You can refocus all you want to, write out your goals. I'm gonna focus on these 3-4 areas of my life, all you want to. But if you spend most of your time worrying about everybody else's business, worrying about what everybody else is doing, you spend more time scrolling than you do writing. You spend more time scrolling than you do strategizing. You spend more time doing those things. I'm here to tell you, it don't matter what goals you write out, you're not going to get there, right? So part of refocusing is also resetting your life and resetting where you put your energy and resetting where you put your effort. I hate to break this to y'all, and I love social media. Social media is a fun place, but something hit me about a week ago. I ain't got time to post every day. And I even had this posting cadence, 5 things I learned every Monday. I guess I'll do one Monday. and I do a status maybe Tuesday. I'll do a video Wednesday. And this thing hit me like, I love y'all, but I ain't got time to talk to y'all every day. And I'm not being antisocial. I'm just a little focused right now. There are some major goals that I have that are far bigger than this, that may involve this at some point. But it's just about understanding that when you reset your focus, you also reset your energy. And it ain't you're not thinking you better than whatever or thinking you better than other people. It's not that. You just ain't got time. When you really set your focus, you really place your energy in spaces in an intentional way. I want y'all to write this down because I need you to catch this now. Watch this. I want you to put this right in the comments right now, and then we get ready to get into the nitty gritty good stuff. Put this in the comments right now. Be intentional about where you place your energy. Come on. Be intentional about where you place your energy. This is going to help somebody. I want you to put it in the comments now. Be intentional about where you place your energy. Folks be thinking something wrong with you. Ain't nothing wrong with you. I'm just focused. You know, you have to be very intentional about where you put your energy. And if you're very intentional about where you put your energy and you're very intentional about where you're focused, you're going to find something out. You ain't going to have a whole lot of time, no extra time for no extra stuff. It's just what it is. It doesn't mean that your life will be all play, no fun. It doesn't mean that you will never have free time. It doesn't mean none of that stuff. What I'm suggesting to you is that as you are intentional about your life and you are intentional about your focus and intentional about where your focus should be and where your business is and where your energy should be, you just don't have a lot of time to worry about a lot of other stuff. Somebody sent me a screenshot about a week ago about something, and I had no idea it happened. I was like, and it was 4 weeks old at the time. And I had no idea that it happened, but it's because I ain't got time to worry about what everybody else doing. You know, it's when you really reset, when you take the time to be quiet, when you take the time to reset your life and your goals, when you take the time to really refocus your life, I'm telling y'all, you just ain't got time to keep up. Like, it is a task for me to keep up with people. Like, let me ask y'all this. Maybe I'm the only one. Let me ask y'all this. Have any of you ever been on social media and got exhausted trying to just keep up? And I know I'm a little weird. So if I'm weird, just say, hey, Pastor, just put in the comments, Pastor, you weird. That it ain't us, it's you. And I can take that. But have any of you ever, especially if you've taken a period off of social media, you've been working on other things, you ain't got time. Have you ever just gone out, maybe social media, or just, seen news clips that come to your inbox and you're catching up news and you just feel overwhelmed? And it ain't that something mentally wrong with you. It's just a lot going on. And it's so much to catch up with. And then when you think about everything that's going on in the world, and then you think about everything you got going on, you just shut the world down so you can get back to what you're doing. Am I the only person that feels that way? I probably am. I'm a weird guy. I get it. I'm a nerd and a weird guy. But hear what I'm saying. There is a certain type of razor focus. I can't explain it. And many of you will not understand this. But there's a certain type of razor sharp focus that you will face, that you will come into contact with, that is so razor sharp that as much as you want to be in tune with people and what everybody else is doing, you just won't have time. I'm giving y'all many examples. I've got mentors that are millionaires, multimillionaires. Let me tell you something. They don't use social media a lot. Many of them don't even hardly watch TV. They ain't got time. Like when they are doing their life and doing their business and conducting deals and opening up opportunities and creating opportunities, most of the time when we talk and they, what's going on, Zeb, I'll tell them what's going on. They'd be like, oh, wow, that happened. Like, they are so disconnected from the world because they have all of these goals in front of them, and their focus and their energy and their effort is on their goals. They ain't got time to worry about what everybody else is doing or where everybody else is. So again, don't take this and run, oh, he anti-social media. No, I'm not. I'll be out there. I like social media. I'm just saying to you, I like TV. I love television. Even though I watch the same 3-4 stations every day, I love television. But listen to me and just hear me in love. There is a certain kind of razor sharp focus that you can get so focused on your goals and so focused on the plans and the things that you desire that frankly, you just ain't got time for a whole bunch of nothing else. And it ain't personal and ain't that you some super saint or whatever. You just ain't got time for all the extra stuff. And I'm challenging, and this is connecting to where we're going, because one of the reasons why people judge other people is because they ain't got enough business of their own. Here's a white meat alert. Are y'all listening? One of the reasons why people judge other people so much is because they ain't got enough business of their own. Listen, when you got a whole lot of business, when you got a whole lot of goals you trying to accomplish, when you got a whole lot of things you trying to make happen, you really ain't got time to worry about nobody else. See, the reason why many of y'all are experts in tea brewing, I couldn't wait to teach this today. The reason why many of you are expert tea brewers is because you ain't got no tea of your own. See, when you got your own tea and your own tea that you brewing, that you working on, that you massage, that you do, you ain't got time to fix nobody else's tea. Some of y'all asking, Lord, the older saying, Pastor, what's a tea brewer? When they say brewing tea, that means talking about folks' business, right? So when you, for the older saints that are asking, when somebody says, hey, y'all, let's brew some tea, what they're saying is, let's talk about, other folks' business. Let me tell you something. Some of us got so much tea of our own that we ain't got time to taste nobody else's tea. I don't want to taste nobody else's tea. I got enough tea in my own life. And when you got tea, it don't mean you got bad stuff. Tea can be good too. I hate it because I started to do broadcasts from the house this morning and I made me some good old peppermint tea. And this is a perfect message to sip some tea on, because I'm coming for some of y'all's necks in a second. But some of y'all need to get some tea. You need to get your own tea and brew your own tea. And see, so when I talk about being focused and being quiet and resetting your life and refocusing yourself, what I'm saying is get your own tea. Because when you got your own tea and your own business, you ain't got time to judge nobody else. You ain't got time to worry about what nobody else doing, who they doing it with, where they doing it, how they doing it. None of that, all that energy you putting into brewing somebody else's tea. Meanwhile, your pot is empty. The pot about to catch on fire because it's sitting on the stove and ain't nothing in it. And it's indicative of your life. Your life about to catch on fire because it's sitting on the stove and it ain't got nothing in it. Are y'all listening to me? So we've got to get refocused on ourselves and we've got to reset our lives. But mostly we got to learn how to just be quiet. Let me tell you something, man. You can save yourself a whole lot of trouble just learning how to shut up. Am I teaching this does this make sense to anybody? You can stay out of a whole lot of stuff just learning how to say things like no comment. No comment. I got a better one than that. There are two phrases, if you've ever been around pastor in a significant way. If you've been around pastor in a significant way, there are two phrases pastor is great for saying when he ain't got time to be in nobody else's business. And the comments are this: no comment. And then I pull out Dave Chappelle. I plead the fifth. And I'm talking about fifth without the T and the H. F-I-F. I plead the fifth. Because see, when you ain't got time for nobody else's business, you ain't got time to be running your mouth. And some of y'all, all y'all do is run your mouth because you ain't got no business of your own. And you wondering why your career ain't taking off. You wondering why your family's a mess. You wonder why your kids are wilding out. You talking about everybody else's kids and your kids been on the Jerry Springer show 3 times. Y'all stop. Worry about your own life and learn how to mind your own business. Being quiet is a powerful thing. The old folks used to say it like this: sometimes at the end of the day, when you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. And let me tell you something. Sometimes I see stuff. Y'all forgive Pastor. I couldn't wait to teach this. Sometimes I see stuff, I be peeping, and it don't mean you don't peep stuff. Because many of us be peeping stuff. But just because you ain't saying nothing don't mean you ain't peep nothing. I.e., you ain't seen nothing. I gotta watch my slang. You know, just because you ain't saying nothing don't mean you ain't seen nothing. You peeped a whole lot, but you've learned that there's power in just learning how to just shut up. Just be quiet. Like, if it ain't got nothing to do with you, get out of it. But some of y'all are so busy brewing everybody else's tea. Meanwhile, your life, which is your teapot, is sitting on a whole stove. Ain't nothing in there. It's, you ever burn water out of a pot, and you know when it get to the bottom, and you almost forget that the pot ain't got nothing in it. You know, it's got like little beads of water. And if you don't hurry up and put some water in there, then the pot will catch on fire. That's how some of y'all's life look. You busy brewing everybody else's tea, but meanwhile, your pot is sitting on the stove with a drop of water in it. Your life falling apart, your career falling apart, your relationships falling apart, all of that stuff falling apart. You about falling apart, but you ain't got enough time to tend to what's going on in your life. But you got all the time in the world to tend to what's going on in everybody else's life. Y'all stop brewing everybody else's tea and learn how to pay attention to your own. All right. Y'all didn't like this message, did you? St. Matthew chapter 7, verse 1 and 2. I'm in the NIV. Will you get it? St. Matthew chapter 7, verse 1 and 2. I'm in the NIV. St. Matthew chapter 7, verse 1 and 2. I'm in the NIV today. So I switched it up on y'all, especially you moderators. But St. Matthew chapter 7, verse 1 and 2, NIV. Get it for me. I want to show y'all something. Because we have set the stage to understand why it pays to mind your business. Now, let's go further. Y'all pray for Pastor. Let's go further. All right, look at this. St. Matthew chapter 7, verse 1 and 2. You ready? Verse 1 says, do not judge, or you too will be judged. Verse 2. For in the same way, this is important, for in the same way you judge others, you will be judged, and with the measure you use, it will be measured to you. Now, there's a lot here we got to unpack. All right, so verse 1 is self-explanatory. Do not judge, or you too will be judged. We get that. All right, now, let's look at the second one, because there's some things we got to unpack here. Look at the second one. For in the same way you judge others, you will be judged. And with the measure you use, it will be measured to you. Now, let's just deal with the reality. You probably never heard this taught this way, but let me just give you something that's a fact. I don't care who you are. Me, you, your mama, your grandma, whoever. I don't care who you are. All of us at some point have judged somebody else. Yes, you judge people. When you go to the mall and you see somebody walking the mall with a horrible outfit and that thought comes across your mind, what is sis thinking about? You just judged her. Okay? We all judge people. So let's not sit here. I'm going to deal with this because some of y'all just thought Pastor was saying, don't judge people, don't judge people, don't judge people. It's more than that. We all judge people. We are naturally inclined to judge people, to put a judgment on people, right? In other words, judging people, if we really want to break down the definition of this, when you judge somebody, all you're doing is rendering an opinion about them. That's it. You're just rendering an opinion about them, right? So we all judge people. Let's not sit here in this virtual church and act like we don't judge people. We all do, right? When you judge somebody, you're rendering an opinion of them. So we all judge people. Don't sit there and say I ain't never judged nobody because you're lying, all right? So we all judge people. But this is the most important thing about judging people. See, this message is less about judging people, right? The rocks and glass houses. It's less about judging people, and it's really more about the B clause of verse 2. Because verse 2 says, for in the same way you judge others, you will be judged. Here we go. And with the measure you use, in other words, with the way you go about doing it, it's going to be the same way other people going to go about judging you. Now, this is important. I want y'all to record this. You ready? Record this right now. It pays to think about yourself when measuring other people. Just about to be on fire good. I want you to put this in the comments now. It pays to think about yourself when you are measuring other people. It pays to think about yourself when you are measuring other people. Now, I'm going to give y'all an example. And some of this example is going to offend some of you. I'm warning you now. This example is going to offend some of you. But I'm going to give you an example because it was the best when I was studying. This was the best example I could think of to just really bring this home about how I judge people and how I measure people when I judge them. This is the best example I could think of. Y'all bear with me, okay? Right? Because when we talk about judging people and measuring them, it talks about how we go about judging. Again, we're all human. You're going to judge people. But how you do it matters. This is the best example I can come up with. I remember when I started a ministry years ago. Started a ministry. Wow. This year will be 20 years. So I'll be celebrating 20 years of ministry. Wow. June the 8th. I will have been in ministry for 20 years. I started in 2021. And man, it's been a long journey. But I remember starting off in ministry. And I would just, peep other preachers and how they went about doing stuff and how they preached on certain things and certain topics they went really hard on. And then other topics they didn't go hard on. And certain topics they really went into great detail and really, preached at you and condemned at you. And then other topics they wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. Right. And I said then that I never wanted to be preacher, spiritual leader. You may have seen in my bio, I say something. I've got something up there like non-traditional spiritual leader, and that really offends traditional preachers. So who does this guy think he is? I'm just not you. Stuff you don't want to talk about, I prefer to talk about. Stuff that you think ain't important is probably very important to me. My approach is just different. My calling is different. I'm good with that, right? And it's still TBD. It's still developing. But I never wanted to just avoid topics like that. I don't care, when we do the thing here called Ask Me Anything, where you can just ask whatever question I get to answer, like that really excites me because I like talking about from a religious or spiritual perspective, things that people don't want to talk about. But something that I really peeped out, and this is important, back in the day, and this ain't as big of a deal now, but back in the day, all right, and I don't want to offend y'all, but listen to me. Back in the day, it used to be a big deal in church circles, like back in the day. Like if a non-married female back in the day got pregnant, oh, that was breaking news. Now I'm showing my age a little bit. I ain't that old, but I'm showing my age. I remember growing up as a kid that if 7, 8, 9, 10, somebody got pregnant in the church, or outside the church for that matter, it didn't matter, but especially in the church. Let's use that example to make it more what I needed to be. If somebody in the church got pregnant and they ain't had no husband, and especially if they was young, 13, 14, 15, 16, oh man, listen, that there were ministries, denominations that would make these young girls stand up in front of the church and apologize to the church. And it's crazy. My dad didn't do this. It ain't happening in my dad's church. But I know other churches where this happened regularly, where the young girl would have to come up. She got a little bump on her stomach. She cried. She could barely stand up. She bawling in tears. And they hand her the mic and she had to tell the church the obvious. I'm pregnant. And y'all please forgive me. And the deacons be sitting there with their stomach hanging out over their pants. Deacons sitting there, stomach hanging out over their pants. They 2 points away from a stroke, sitting on the front pew, looking at them side eye, looking at the girl side eye. She about to pass out, crying. She's stressed out. And meanwhile, the deacons sitting there looking at her crazy. But the deacon's been cracking on every other woman in the whole church. See, I learned something. I'm going to help y'all today. I learned something early in ministry. Young, how old was I? I think I was around maybe 23, I think, when I started ministry, something like that. Young, but I learned something real fast. When people fall, you better treat them like you would want somebody to treat you if you fall. Now I'm gonna make this plain to y'all, because y'all ain't feeling this message today. When people fall, I'm giving y'all some advice that I learned early. When people fall, you need to treat them the same way you would want people to treat you if you ever fall. Let me tell you something. Girls getting pregnant in church, this is gonna offend some of y'all. I don't care. I'm just out here now. I always been out here different. I don't care if y'all don't like it. Girls getting pregnant in church don't do nothing to me. Now, I want y'all to think pastor reprobate or carnal. I'm not. That just don't do nothing to me. Let me tell you why a girl getting in church who ain't got no husband to get pregnant don't do nothing to me. Because it be folk in the church that's screwing like crazy. That be eating Plan Bs. That's screwing way more than what she's screwing. That be eating Plan Bs like crazy. That never got caught. Either they eating Plan Bs or they eating something else. I said what I said. No holds barred. So how I look like, preacher, pastor, or just a regular old guy standing in a church condemning a girl for getting pregnant out of wedlock, to the point where she crying about to, yeah, I know what you just walked into, saying, yeah, you did. She's standing in front of the church crying about to pass out, doing all that, asking forgiveness from a congregation that's just as guilty. What y'all gonna forgive her for? See, y'all don't like this kind of talking here. This is why I'm not a convocation preacher. I never will be. See, so I learned early for real. That when people fall around you, you better extend to them the same kind of grace that you would want if you fall. So that's why folk getting pregnant, they ain't bother me. People messing up, getting caught on a video doing something, ain't bother me. Let me tell you something. It could be pastor one day. My favorite emoji. Huh? It could be pastor one day. And so I tell the church all the time, Rehab, and I know they think I'm crazy, but I'm just me. There will never be another one like me. I tell the church all the time, and this is for real. I tell the church all the time, pastor ain't gonna judge nobody, because it could be your pastor one day. And ask the members that's on this call if I've ever said it. It could be your pastor one day. You might look up one day and it might say, Greensboro pastor arrested downtown for pimping 10 women. And I'm gonna be right there on the mugshot like this. And so I tell Rehab all the time, I extend grace because one day your pastor might need grace. See, we struggle. Everybody likes to receive grace. I'm preaching better than y'all saying amen. And I'm getting into one of my reasons, and I can't go here too soon. But see, everybody likes to receive grace. Nobody likes to extend it. Everybody likes to receive an apology, but nobody likes to extend an apology. Yeah, pimping. Like, if you're going to do it, do it. Absolutely pimping. You hear what I'm saying? I don't know why it's always pimping, elder. Just pray for your pastor, okay? Just pray. You get what I'm saying? And so I've always told the church, I don't worry about falling. And I want to say, and I'm saying this part in sincerity, right? I know we're laughing and joking, but I'm saying this part in sincerity. Pastor never worries about falling. Let me tell you why. Because I've been surrounded by people who have fallen hard, and I gave them grace. I gave them big grace. I extended my hand to them like they didn't fall. I loved them like I didn't know. Listen, I loved them with the information as if I didn't have the information. I want to say this again. I loved them with what I knew as if I didn't have what I knew. And so if pastor ever falls, you reap what you sow. I'm going to reap back some grace. I'm not saying this, y'all, to prep y'all for a fall. That's some of y'all so basic. I'm not saying that. I'm just making an example. Pastor doesn't worry about falling because I have extended grace. I've treated people right when they fall. And so this is what the text here in verse 2 talks about with how we measure people. When people fall, be careful of how you treat them when they fall. Because it could be you one day. See, it could have been me who had a girl up at the front of the church crying. Or it could be my sister up at the front of the church crying. It could have been her. Listen, learn how to extend grace. Learn how to treat people the same way you want to be treated when you fall. And the crazy thing about that situation, I ain't gonna call no denomination out because y'all gonna really try. Some of y'all gonna really try to get me in trouble if I call it, but there's a denomination that's good for this. And I'm gonna just leave it there. There's a denomination that's good for having folk come up in front of the church and apologize. There's two. I shouldn't be having this much fun teaching this message. There's actually I'm getting tickled. There's actually two denominations that's good for having folk come up in front of the church and apologize something. But bro, when I tell you, if you ever go to a convention, it's a whole fest. It's a whole fest. I mean, they be hanging from the rails of the balcony of them rooms in the Omni during that convocation. It's a whole fest. And they be and be having folks do the most apologizing in front of church. Let me tell you, and I could never understand that why absolutely including Bishop. I mean, it's a pure whole fest. And let me tell you something. I couldn't understand for the life of me why in those situations it was always just the female up there apologizing. Like, so the girl could be pregnant by the organist, and he's still on the organ playing. Y'all don't like this. I know. He's still on the organ playing, making y'all shout, hitting the click tracks, making y'all still on organ play. And the girl he got knocked up got to stand in front of the church, and she got to apologize, and he's still back there playing, popping gum with his headphones on. I never understood why she had to come up there alone. And so, y'all, we got to be careful of how we handle people when they fall. I'm trying to help you. Handle people when they fall the same way you want to be handled. Because I'm going to tell you, whether it's a big fall or it's a little fall or it's a or it's a public fall or it's a private fall or a combination of all of that, one day something's going to happen to you that is not going to be pleasing. That's going to be a little borderline embarrassing. And you're going to want people to extend to you the same thing you extended out. And I'm here to tell you, if you talked about people when they fail, folk gonna talk about you. Oh, y'all don't like this. If you talked about people when they fail, folk gonna talk about you. If you screenshot folks' videos when they fail, folk gonna screenshot you. Be not deceived. Y'all don't like this. This is good word. Be not deceived. God is not mocked. Whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. The reality is, baby, if you laugh at folk when they fail, when you fall, folk gonna laugh at you. When you talk trash about people when they fail, folk gonna talk trash about you. You better learn how to treat people the same way you want to be treated when you fall. Are y'all listening to me? Michelle, I'm not doing this with you today. I'm not talking about James Cleveland. I'm not doing it. All right. St. Matthew chapter 7, verse 3 through 5. Y'all forgive Pastor. I'm having too much fun with this message today. Yeah. So Pastor, I'm not talking about y'all because, I don't want y'all to get mad. Pastor just doesn't worry about falling like that. Like, it doesn't mean that he's flawless. It doesn't mean that he doesn't make mistakes. It doesn't mean he may not make a mistake. It doesn't mean that. It just means that I have put in so much currency in giving people grace that if I ever fall, yeah, of course, some people are going to be excited. Some people going to want to screenshot. I might even make that obnoxious blog. I get all of that. I understand who I am, and I understand the weight of who I am and what comes with being who I am. But I also understand I put in so much currency in extending folks grace and being good to people when they were just totally horrible people, that stuff will come back to me. Are y'all listening to me? So you got to put in your currency so you can get it back. St. Matthew chapter 7, verse 3 through 5, NIV. Look at this. Some of y'all hot, boy. I know it. I ain't talking about your denomination. It's just true. Look at this. St. Matthew chapter 7, verse 3 through 5. Look at this. It says, why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own eye? Verse 4. How can you say to your brother, let me take the speck out of your eye, when all the time there is a plank in your own eye? Look at verse number 5. You hypocrite. First, take the plank out of your own eye, and then you will see clearly to remove the speck from your brother's eye. This is one of my favorite. This is one of my favorite verses here, because I want you to record this. You ready? Everything you judge in others reflects what's already in you. Come on. I want you to record this. Everything you judge in others reflects what is already inside of you. Everything you judge in others reflects what is already in you. This is why I like the NIV version. Come on, y'all ain't writing this. Type this. Everything you judge in others reflects what is already inside of you. This is why I like the NIV version, because the NIV version uses this text to talk about sawdust and a plank. What's a plank? Plank is a board of wood. What is the wood made out of? Dust, sawdust, right? If you cut it, if you cut a plank with a saw, it's going to create sawdust, but that dust just came from the plank of wood. So the verse is saying, how can you pay attention to all of the sawdust in your brother's eye when the very thing in your own eye is made of the same thing that you're paying attention to in somebody else? I'm going to say this again slow, because I don't feel like y'all getting this. How can you pay attention to the dust in somebody else's eye, the issues in somebody else's life, when you have in your own life a reflection of some of the very same things in your own life? See, it's easy for us. It's easy for us to point out the flaws in other people, and to point out the challenges in other people, and to point out what's wrong with other people. But you don't even realize that when you are so quick to point out what's wrong with other people, 10 times out of 10, there's an element of what's wrong in them that's also wrong in you. I'm going to say this again. 10 times out of 10, if you are quick to point out what's wrong with somebody else and quick to judge what's wrong with somebody else, 10 times out of 10, you have inside of you a very element of the very same thing going on in your life. You know why? Because sawdust wouldn't be as fast to point out a plank, or I'm sorry, a plank wouldn't be as fast to point out sawdust if the plank didn't know that the sawdust was really comprised of who they are. Are y'all listening to me? See, when you are quick to judge what's wrong with other folk and what the problem is with other people, all you're simply saying is some of that is in me too. Now, I'm gonna get in trouble right here. Let's just go here. This is gonna be bad. Y'all listening? This is gonna be bad. I'm gonna need, Sandy, I'm gonna need some security. This is gonna be bad. I'm just telling y'all. Let me make this make sense. As a preacher, as a pastor, one of the reasons why I do Ask Me Anything at Rehab is because I've always wanted my members, or wherever I'm passing, whatever I'm doing, I've always wanted my members to feel comfortable asking questions about anything. Because, you know, this is two things that I can't, this is two things that I know for sure. If a kid can't ask questions to their parents, or if a member can't ask questions to their pastor, both of those types of people will grow up dysfunctional, or they will go out and attempt to find the answers on their own And oftentimes through experiment and end up making a mess out of their lives, which is why if you got kids, you should always have an environment where your kids can ask you anything. Period. Like if you're a parent and your kid can't talk to you but for certain things, and there are other things they want to talk about, I don't want to talk about that. Get out of my face. You're not a good parent. And I'm saying that in love, but I'm being honest with you. You're not a good parent. Your kids should be able to talk to you about anything. Even if it makes them uncomfortable, even if it makes you uncomfortable, even if it makes all of y'all uncomfortable, they should be able to talk to you about anything. One. And then if you're at a church somewhere, you ought to be able to ask any question about any life thing you want to your pastor, and he should not, or she should not feel no kind of way about answering the question. Because this is how you learn and grow. But I peeped something though. Let me tell you what I peeped young in my career, my ministry career. I peeped something. Yeah, I used to always wonder why preachers would preach hard on certain things. Like they would go hard on it. Don't be a lesbian. I'm about to get in trouble. Don't be gay. Don't be a lesbian. Don't like boys. You're going to bust hell wide open if you, and I mean go hard. Would go hard for like 30, 40 minutes on that, right? But then wouldn't bother stuff like being mean or rude or, heterosexual sex without a husband or wife, or just, they would ignore that stuff, but would go hard on, what I call the normal sins: drinking, smoking, liking your gender, whatever. Go hard on that stuff. Then as I grew in ministry, I'm gonna get in trouble. This is gonna be so bad. As I grew in ministry and, began to get out there more and preach out more, my dad, shout out to my dad if he's tuned in. One of the things I didn't understand when I first started in ministry is my dad would not let me preach everywhere. My dad would, for the first 2 years, I didn't preach anywhere but at my home church. I didn't do my first revival until year 3 of my ministry. And I actually did it for the late Bishop Ralph Donnie Graves. My first revival for him 3 years after I started ministry. My dad would not let me go anywhere for the first 2 years. I preached in my dad's church. And the reason he did that, I didn't quite all the way get it then. I fully get it now. Is that he was really trying to set a foundation of what my tone and tenor should be when I minister to people. And it was so important. So many young preachers are screwed up today because they do an initial sermon today. They preach in a revival next week. They trying to preach full time the next year, and they have no grounding or foundation. They 25 and they act like they 55. And it ain't nothing godly about that. And it's because you don't have a foundation. You don't have a genuine foundation. But I peeped game early. Preachers would be going hard on certain things, but ignoring other things. And as I got out there, would do revivals, meet preachers, be backstage, fly in other cities and other states and preaching and expanding. And I was a little bit, doing a little bit of the convocation stuff back then before I just got comfortable in my skin. All of this stuff was doing, all this. I would see these things behind closed doors, and I noticed something. I'm gonna get in trouble. This is so bad. You know what I noticed? I noticed that the same preachers that was preaching hard about boys not liking boys, like boys. Jay, where you at? You might have to pull up to the church and make sure I can walk out of here. The same bishops that was condemning guys to hell for liking boys was backstage asking for my number. Jay, get the Glock and meet me at the church, man. I'm serious. This kind of stuff, people put a hit out on your life for stuff like this. You listening to me? The same preachers that were saying you're going to bust hell wide open for having all of this non-marriage sex and smash up was the same ones that was running through all the women in the church. They was running through them, like running. And I was always like, huh? But you just, huh? And let me tell you why that's the case. Because most people that's pointing out the sawdust in your life got a whole lot of planks in their own. Y'all don't like this. Y'all don't like this. The same people that's pointing out the sawdust in your life got a whole lot of planks in their own life. If I ain't gonna keep it nothing with you, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. And so y'all gotta stop that. If you don't agree with what somebody's doing, if you know somebody's tea or somebody doing, let me tell you something. The best thing you can do is pray for them. Have your little opinion, because we all human, you're gonna have your opinion. But you better handle them with the same level of care you expect somebody to handle you. And see, the irony of this is, then a lot of these, and I'm just using preachers right now. So I'm talking about me, so none of y'all get offended. But the irony of this is, it was the same preachers that was doing all of that stuff. You know, like, you like boys, you're going to hell. No, stop smashing everybody. It was the same ones that would end up getting busted doing the same thing. And people would be so surprised. I never was. Because I've learned something. People go extra hard on stuff they extra guilty of. I'm going to say that slow. Because I want you, if y'all don't catch nothing I say today, I want you to catch what I just said. People go extra hard on stuff they extra guilty of. Y'all not listening? Type it. Put it in the comments. Are you listening to the old man? I ain't felt good enough to scream in weeks. People go extra hard on the stuff they extra guilty of. If you see somebody, let me just calm the example down, because I didn't throw y'all off with this bishop pastor thing. I threw y'all off, and the denomination thing and boys and all of this. I threw y'all off. So let me go extra light on y'all. If a person goes extra hard on everybody else about their attitude all the time and always talking about everybody else's attitude and how bad everybody else's attitude, chances are they probably got a bad attitude. That's how it works. That's how it works. When people go extra hard about people, I don't know why they sleeping with everybody. They always, they so loose. And I'm not saying this is right. I'm just listen to the example. They sleeping with everybody and they smashing everybody. And they just that child, I don't know what's wrong with that girl. I don't know what's wrong with that boy. 9 times out of 10, they got a closet full of skeletons they done bagged. People go extra hard on the stuff they extra guilty of. And it's judgment 101. I'm trying to help y'all. I mean, they go real hard on the same stuff they extra guilty of. Y'all got to stop that. Because the dust you point out on other people ain't helpful when you ignoring the plank that's in your own life. And guess what, y'all? Planks and dust are made of the same thing. In other words, let me put it this way. It takes one to know one. Are y'all listening to the old man? It takes one to know one. Pastor goes hard on everything. I am an equal opportunity smasher. Not not that kind of smashing. I mean smashing that to the white meat. Oh my God. An equal opportunity head buster. That's what I am. Because people be out here just they showing their cards. All you do is rag on people for who they sleeping with. All you do is rag on people for how bad their attitude is. All you do is rag on people. I know Sister Trina, that totally came out wrong. All they do is rag on people for this, and I'm here to tell you, all you got to do is pay attention to what they ragging on. People go extra hard on the stuff they extra guilty of. 10 times out of 10. It never fails. It never fails. So y'all got to cool it out. All right. 3 reasons why people are obsessed with judging others, and I'm done. I'm going to give them to you fast because I've already talked about this. Is this blessing anybody today? Come on. I want you to put this in the comments right now. If this is blessing you today, I want you to put in the comments right now, he helping me. He helping me. Tell Mama Michelle, I cleaned that up. That came out completely wrong. Love you, Mama. He helping me. I want you to put in the comments right now. He helping me. He helping. I'm trying to help. So, see, some of you need to be freed from people judging you. Because let me tell you how I have become so comfortable in my own skin. One of the ways I've become so comfortable in my own skin is that I always think about the fact that most people trying to judge what I'm doing or judge what I'm dealing with or what I'm going through tend to be the very same people that wish they were me. Tend to be the very same people that wish they had what I got. Tend to be the same people that wish they are who I am. See, when you understand that people judge either what they are guilty of or judge what they wish they were, it changes your whole perspective, period. Like, you don't let Negroes get on your nerves for nothing. All right, and that's where you got to grow. 3 reasons why people are obsessed with judging others, and I'm done. All right, I'm going to give you 3 reasons why people are obsessed with judging others, and I really hope this message is helping somebody today. I really do. All right, 3 reasons why people, boy, I'm going to get in trouble today with my examples, but it's the truth. I get so sick and tired. I mean, Bishop be up there condemning folk to hell for sleeping with folk and then be trying to slip you their number. Bro, number 1. Now, let me just stop. I'm going to stop because I will really get in trouble. 3 reasons why people are obsessed with judging others. Reason 1. You ready? People who are obsessed with judging others. I'm going to start all 3 reasons with that statement. All right. People who are obsessed with judging others often try to overcompensate for something they are not. People who are obsessed with judging others often try to overcompensate for something they are not. Reason number 1 they do it, they're trying to overcompensate for something they are not. People will go extra hard on you, sometimes because they're extra guilty, but sometimes they do it because they really wish they were you. They really wish they were in your boat, i.e., it's called hating. Listen, you ain't got to make light or salt work. They work on their own, right? Go back to the introduction today. When you the light of the world, when you the salt of the earth, you ain't got to try to make that work. Salt added to anything makes it different. Light added to anything makes it bright. It needs no help. And so people oftentimes are obsessed with judging people because they are trying to overcompensate for something that they really are not. Something inside of them that they really don't like about themselves. So they extra critical about how you dress because they don't like the way they dress. That's what I'm saying. They extra critical about who you dating because they can't get a man. They extra critical about the career moves that you making because they 20 years on their job and they too afraid to leave and try something else. See, people oftentimes try to overcompensate for what they're not by trying to judge you or by trying to measure you, right? And you can't let people try to measure you that way. Don't let that stuff faze you. Most people who are judging you, either 1 or 2 things are true. Either they're guilty of the same thing or they really wish they were in the position that you're in. Period. Most people wish they had the courage to leave their job that they've been working for 20 years, and you had the courage to leave after 5 to go pursue what you really like. They judging you, talking about something you need to sit down somewhere. But deep down inside, they saying, man, I wish I had the courage to get up and move myself. That stuff be true, man. Most folks that's criticizing you secretly admiring you. Are y'all right? Did y'all write that down? Huh? Most people who criticize you secretly, deep down inside, wish they were you. Deep down inside, really be trying to admire you on the low. All right? So they're trying to overcompensate for something they're not. Reason 2. I'm almost done. The second reason why people are obsessed with judging others is this. You ready? They don't understand the impact of minding their own business. People who are obsessed with judging others don't understand the impact of minding their own business. Let me tell you something, y'all. Y'all want to know where peace is? Peace is on an island called minding your business. I'm trying to help y'all. You want to know where peace, you want to know what sleeping good at night is? I mean, I'm talking snoring. Sometimes I wake up. Have you ever been snoring so loud that the snore woke you up? And then when you woke up, there was like a little pudge of wet right there on your pillow because you was all in. I was all in on this dream I had last night. And I claim my snore woke me up. And it was one of the funniest dreams. Let me tell you something. There is peace on this island called minding your own business. The greatest way you will influence people is not by what you say. It's by how you live. It's by how you treat people. It's about how you carry yourself. Some of y'all trying to talk folk to death to convince them of who you are. You ain't got to talk folk to death. Live. Some of y'all trying to status folks to death to try to explain yourself and convince them. Live. I've experienced some stuff. I was telling a buddy of mine about a week ago. I've experienced some stuff. Let me tell you something. Facebook, social media, Instagram, LinkedIn, that'd be the last place I would write a statement to explain to Negroes what I'm dealing with. It ain't none of y'all business. Mind your business like I mind mine. Because you influence people not by what you say. Most of the folk will read your apology, like it, or read what you're dealing with, like it and love it, say, oh, I'm praying for you, Pastor, and then turn around, screenshot it, send it to somebody and be talking about you behind your back. You don't influence people by what you say. You influence people by how you live. You influence people by how you treat people. You influence people by how you act, not by what you explain. Some of y'all in the explaining business and you just need to shut up. Stop explaining everything. You don't have to explain nothing to nobody. You're grown. Who pay your bills? Is my name on your bills? When you looked at your energy bill, did my name show up on it? No. So you don't owe me no explanation. Did the people on your social media friends list, did their name show up on your bills? No. You don't owe no explanation. Did your church members show up on your bills when you open them up this month? When you paid your mortgage, did it have the person from your church on your bill for you to pay your mortgage? It did. So stop explaining. Learn how to mind your business. And sometimes you teach people how to mind their business by how you mind your own business. See, I ain't got good at this thing. There might be somebody in here. Jay, you might have to get up here, brother. Might be somebody in here. I've learned how to teach. Let me tell you something. The best way to teach people how to mind their business is to show them by minding your own business. It's so funny. It's so funny. You ever been around somebody that really want to ask you something or say something to you? And yeah, you ever been around somebody that want to ask you something or say something to you? And it's killing them. And they talking to you, they small talk. It's killing because they really, you can just see it all over them. They talking all around what they want to ask. And it's killing them not to ask. I don't feed into that. Some of y'all be like, go ahead, you can ask me what what's going on with me. I just live in the awkwardness. If you too awkward to ask, I'm gonna ignore it like it ain't none of your business because it ain't. See, some of y'all got to learn how to teach people how to mind their business. You do. Most of the people that are talking the loudest, let me tell you something that I've learned. This is another life lesson that I learned for free. You ready? Most of the people that are talking the loudest and the most often privately ain't doing much at all. I'm gonna say this again. Most of the people that are talking the loudest and most often privately are not doing nothing at all. Live in the awkwardness. You're welcome. That's on my next t-shirt. I live in the awkwardness. Folk, they be wanting to ask stuff so bad, and I just be looking at them like, ain't none of your business. You can ask, but ain't none of your business. I know you want to ask, but ain't none of your business. And it don't even be awkward to me. She said, September babies living awkward. Probably. Don't even faze me. Listen, People that be talking the loudest and the most, normally 9 times out of 10, probably they ain't doing much at all. This is why don't pay your bills. What people say don't pay your bills. What people say ain't gonna heal your body. What people say ain't gonna really rescue. It's what people do that matters. Listen, y'all, understand the impact of minding your business. It works. You should have so much business in your life that honestly, you ain't got time to keep up with nobody else. You want to know how you know you growing? You want to know how you know you really doing a great job of minding your business? When you the last one to find out stuff. When you the last one to get the report, to get the tea. When you the last one, you probably minding your business pretty good. When you the last one to hear the latest scoop, the latest gossip, you probably minding your business pretty good. Some of y'all the first to know everything. It's because you're busy. It's because you're busy. I said it. It's because you're there. In fact, let me tell you, some of y'all are more credible than TMZ. If I ever wanted to know something, I wouldn't even go to CNN. I would go to Facebook, type in your name, and read your statuses. Some of y'all accurate. You accurate. You fast. You got all the tea, and you always right. But I wouldn't be bragging. I wouldn't. It pays to mind your business. Here's the third reason why people are obsessed with judging others, and I'm done. The third reason why people are obsessed with judging others is because they don't understand the power of grace. They do not understand the power of grace. This is the big one. The third reason why people are obsessed with judging others is because they do not understand. Jay, you might have to get up here, brother. I think somebody waiting on me outside. Ask Pastor if he's scared. The third reason why people are obsessed with judging others is because they don't understand the power of grace. They don't understand the power of grace. Listen, mercy is undeserved forgiveness. We're not talking about that. Mercy is undeserved forgiveness, but grace is undeserved favor. Sandy says she on her way. Thank you, Sandy. I appreciate it. Somebody got a cover, Pastor. I might need security walking out of here today. Mercy is undeserved forgiveness, but grace is undeserved favor. When you have grace, when God has given your life grace, he has put a favor on you that's bigger than what you did. Man, listen, you apostolic folk, if Chris was right there, this would be a good preaching time. Did you hear what I said? When God puts grace on your favor, on your life, he puts a favor on your life that you didn't deserve. That's bigger than what you did, which means you can be a known hoe. I mean, a known hoe. But when God put grace on your life, he gives you favor in spite of your wholeness. Y'all not talking back to me. Is this too much for y'all? Should I peep it down some? Are y'all listening to me? He will give you grace in spite of what you did. And it be undeserved favor. It be undeserved favor that he gives you. And so people don't understand that kind of grace. People don't understand that kind of grace. And that really bothers people. Like, people are quick to judge you when they know what you did and they know how guilty you are. In fact, many of them were there with you when you did it, but you still got a life filled with favor. And God still blesses you, and he's still forgiving you, and he still opens doors for you. And you had a whole season, but you still got a good woman. You had a whole season, but you still got a good man. Like, people don't understand that because it don't add up. And so they're more apt to judge you because it doesn't make sense how you can have all of that stuff with what you did. And it's because they don't understand the power of grace. Grace is so powerful that it rises beyond what you did. It rises beyond what you're guilty of. It rises beyond where you've been. It rises beyond what people know about you. It rises beyond what you did on purpose. Y'all be praying about the stuff you did on accident. I be asking God to forgive me for the stuff I meant to do. Y'all stuff be accidental. Nah, I be planning my stuff. I mean, it be on purpose. God, don't bless my accidents. Bless my stuff on purpose. I need you to fix that. Are y'all listening to me? See, grace is bigger than all of that. The favor that grace produces will heal you, and it will cover you, and it will bless you. Don't y'all ever forget that. There are three things that grace will do as a result of favor. The favor that grace produces in your life will heal you, it will cover you, and it'll bless you. And that's in spite of you. The favor that grace produces, y'all need to record, this is your last bullet point. The favor that grace produces will heal you, cover you, and bless you. It's that means in spite of what you did, whether you did it on accident or if you are a premeditated person like Pastor, who was a planner, was great at planning it out, regardless, God can give you the kind of grace that will heal you, cover you, and bless you. And if you ain't happy for nothing else in your life, you should be excited over the power of grace. Grace is bigger than what anybody can ever say about you. Grace is bigger than anything that anybody, any opinion that anybody can create over you. Grace is bigger than all of that. And you got to know that today. So don't worry about people being obsessed with judging you. People judge you because they're trying to compensate for something they're not. They're judging you because they have a problem with minding their business. But the big one is they judge you because they don't understand the power of grace. Grace means you can know my baggage. You can know where the dead bodies are. You can know where all the dead bodies are and the bones, but you still got to watch me be blessed. You still got to watch me walk in favor. And if you don't understand God, you will never understand that. Some of us are blessed way beyond. Some of us are blessed way beyond what we did. It's undeserved forgiveness, Sister Holt. I see you. I think you asked, mercy is undeserved what? It is undeserved forgiveness. When you are given mercy, you're given undeserved forgiveness. When you're given grace, you're given undeserved favor. That's the difference. Most people don't know the difference between mercy and grace. Mercy is undeserved forgiveness. Grace is undeserved favor. And I'm here to tell you, you looking at a pastor right now whose favor is far greater than his resume. I got an all right resume, but man, the grace and the favor that God's put on my life is bigger than my resume. Pastor's done some stuff, man. Pastor's been involved in some stuff. Y'all wonder why Pastor teach as hard as he do and give the examples he do and make it as relevant as he is. Listen, going there can only tell, been there is the only person that can tell going there how to get there. I don't be talking about this stuff I'm talking about for my health. Pastor been in some places. Pastor been through some stuff. Pastor put himself in some stuff. Pastor's been there. Let me tell you something. You can teach like this when you've been there. But I'm here to tell you, Pastor don't look like where he been. Pastor doesn't look like what he's done. Pastor doesn't look like what he has come out of. That's what grace does. Grace will have you looking like a whole other person, even when people know where you've been. That's the power of grace. And so I'm telling you, walk in your power. You have this power called grace that's bigger than what anybody could ever say to you, or bigger than any way that any person could ever judge you. You walk in that power called grace. And I'm here to tell you, if you walk in that grace, don't matter what folk think, don't matter what folks say. Grace will cover you. Grace will heal you. Grace will keep blessing you. I'm done. This bless anybody today? Some of y'all mad at Pastor. I don't care. This bless anybody today? Did this make sense at all? I hope it did. Listen, I'm ready to pray for you. Come on, moderators. I want you to put it on the screen. I want to pray for you. If you've got a prayer request, you can email it at info@rehabcc.org. Subject line prayer request. All right. Email it to me at info@rehabcc.org. Subject line prayer request, or just type your prayer request in the comments right now. And I want to pray over your prayer request. I'm giving you 60 seconds right now to type in your prayer request. I want you to know that I have bumped up my wake up time every morning till 4:30. I don't know what's wrong with Pastor. I think the more I get on my plate, the earlier I feel like I got to get up to get it done. There ain't enough hours in a day for me. But now I'm up at 4:30 every morning. It was 5. Y'all remember when it was 5:03? Then it went to 4:45. Now it's at 4:30. And I got to stop it right here because Pastor got to get 8 hours of sleep and it's hard. But I'm up every morning, 4:30 in the morning, praying over your prayer requests, literally. While most of y'all are snoring, wetting your pillow up with slob, I am praying over your prayer request. So I want you to put in your prayer requests right now. I don't care what it is. Type it in the comments. You got 45 seconds. Type in your prayer request right now. I always go back and watch this part of the broadcast because I like to see your prayer requests. I like to see the things that you want me to pray over concerning your life. I want to pray over your life and pray over your situation. Put it in the comments right now. If you've got a prayer request that is too personal, email your prayer request. It comes to me. Just send it to info@rehabcc.org. That's info@rehabcc.org. Subject line, prayer requests. All right. I want you to put it in the comments right now. I want many of you to know as you are typing your prayer request now, and let's see if we can get some of these on the screen now. Good. As you're typing your prayer request now, I want many of you to know that I'm praying for you. I am praying for your family. I'm praying for your situation. Some of you are putting in the comments now, pray for other people. Many of you are going through some things that I know personally because you shared it with me. And I can't help but reiterate this. The quickest way to get your prayer answered, the quickest way to get your prayer answered is to pray for somebody else. It is. There is nothing more powerful than showing gratitude for somebody else. When you show gratitude for somebody else, when you pray for somebody else, God then begins to answer your prayers. God then begins to make ways for you. God then begins to open doors for you. I have this will be week number 5. This is week 6 we're going to. For the last 6 weeks, y'all, I have not prayed for myself one single day. I have not prayed for myself for the last 6 weeks, not a single day. Every single day for the last 6 weeks, and now the last 5 weeks, we're going into the 6th week. Every single day, I have done nothing but pray for all of you. I have done nothing but pray for other people connected to me. Those of you that tune in, your prayer requests that come in, I have done nothing but pray for everybody else but you. And let me tell you something, the last 5 to 6 weeks, God has done nothing but show out in my life. I mean, showing off, opening doors, new opportunities, vacation about to come up. Vacation number 1 of about 5. Yeah, about to come up. Let me tell you something. He has been doing nothing but showing out for me. It works. Put your needs to the side. Thank y'all. And I see people are coming in saying they're praying for me. I know you guys are. I know you guys are. And I absolutely feel your prayers. And I'm not saying that to blow smoke. I mean it. If I didn't, I wouldn't. Y'all know me by now. If I ain't feel nothing, I'll tell you I don't feel nothing. But I do. I feel y'all's prayers. I do. And I know they're sincere. I believe it. But let me tell you, man, putting your needs to the side and praying for somebody else, that's clutch. You don't believe it? Try it this week. Y'all do me a favor. Put in your prayer requests right now because I see them coming in. Keep going. I'm giving you 15 more seconds. Put in your prayer requests right now for me to pray for. And then y'all try something this week and watch what happens. This week, instead of praying for you one single day, I want you to pray for somebody else every single day and watch what happens. By Friday, if you all starting today, put your needs to the side and put praying for you to the side, and every single day this week, pray for somebody else. By Friday, watch God move in some miraculous ways in your life. It works. Putting your needs to the side and seeing to the needs of other people is one of the most powerful things you can do. So I want to challenge you to do it. All right. Will you do that for me? I promise you, if you do it, God's going to bless you in a tremendous way. Let's pray. Clasp your hands like this as a sign and symbol of faith. All right. Come on. Put your hands together like this as a sign and symbol of faith. Pastor, why you got us doing this? Because I can't hold your hand. I would love to hold your hand and pray for you. I would love to hold your hand and pray for you. But I want you to clasp your hands like this as a sign of touching and agreeing, as if we are holding hands, because I want us to touch and agree during this prayer right now. All right. Would you do that? Clasp your hands like this as a sign and symbol of faith, because I want to pray for everything that is coming across the line. All right. Y'all ready? Let's pray. Father, in Jesus' name, I thank you for your word. And I thank you for this time of sharing you've given us. I pray that something was said today that has challenged somebody, that has convicted somebody in a positive way to re-examine their lives, to re-examine how they see others, so that they can really learn to re-examine how they see themselves. Thank you, God, for such a candid word on the crucial nature of judging. Help us, God, to be positioned to see ourselves before we see anybody else. Help us to be positioned to embrace who we are and where we are before we even attempt to try to understand anybody else. So that, God, it then changes our perspective of others, so that we then begin to extend more grace, so that we then begin to extend more mercy, so that we begin to then extend more understanding and less criticism, cynicism, pettiness regarding the things of other people. Right now, God, for every prayer request that's come across this line, I speak to it right now. I ask now, God, that you would answer the request of your people, that you would make ways like you've never done before, that you've opened doors, that you would open doors like you've never done before. God, this is week 6 for me of setting aside every single need that I have to pray for the needs of your people. I ask you, God, that the same way you are opening doors for me, the same way you're making ways for me, the same ways you are creating new favor in my life, I ask, God, that you would do the same thing for your people, that you would make ways in their lives, that you would heal bodies, heal families, that you would help people find their purpose in their life, their path in their life. Help them to understand what it is, the direction that they should be heading. Give them the courage and the strength to go there. Help them to understand that there's no fall that's so great that they cannot rebound, that they cannot bounce back, that they cannot reset, that they cannot be everything that you called them to be and more. Answer the prayers of your people. And then not only that, God, I pray that you would even give 50 people watching this broadcast or watching the replay. I pray that you would give them the strength to take their needs this week, set them aside, and give them the strength to pray for somebody else. And God, as they do it, open doors in their lives, create new favor in their lives, bless them in ways that they've never imagined. And God, we will continue to give your name the glory, the honor, and the praise. In Jesus' name, amen. Listen, you prayed with me. I want you to put in the comments right now, it is so. Come on. If you prayed with me, put it in the comments right now. It is so. It is so. It is so. If you prayed with me, I want you to put it in the comments right now. It is so. It is so. Every time you say amen, you're simply saying it is so. Every time you say amen, you're simply saying it is so. Put it in the comments right now. It is so. Concerning my prayer requests, it is so. Concerning my family, it is so. Concerning the things that I believe are going to happen in my life, it is so. Come on, quickly do it. It is so. It is so. God's answering prayers. God's making ways. He's meeting needs. He's opening up doors. He's creating new opportunities. Come on, type it in the comments. It is so. As you're typing, if there's anybody tuned in that wants to be saved, if there's anybody that's tuned in who wants to dedicate their life to Christ, remember Romans 10:9. If we confess with our mouths, if we believe with our hearts that Jesus Christ is who he is, did what he did for us, we are saved. It's that simple. Salvation is a matter of confession. It's that simple. It's not a matter of perfection. It's a matter of confession. And all you have to do is confess where you are in your life, not to us, because we can't judge you. You're not about to be the girl and standing in front of the church apologizing to us. We can't save you. But if you confess your sins and flaws to God, he'll not only forgive you, but today he'll save you. If you want to be saved today, I want you to stop what you're doing. If you're driving, pull over. If you're laying down, sit up. If you're eating, put down the bacon. If you want to be saved today, I want to challenge you right now to repeat this prayer with me, because I really believe that after a powerful message today, somebody learned that they don't have to be judged about their past. They don't have to be judged over their mistakes, that they have the ability to bounce back from everything they've ever gone through. If I'm talking to you and you want to be saved today, I want you to stop what you're doing. I want you to repeat this prayer with me right now. Come on, say this with me. I'm a sinner. I'm not perfect. I have some flaws. I even have some failures. But I do believe Jesus Christ was born of a virgin, lived on this earth just like I'm living. He suffered, bled, and died on the cross. But 3 days later, rose again for my sins. Because he lives, I can live, and I am saved. Listen, friends, if you prayed that prayer with me, I am clapping my hands with you in excitement for you dedicating your life to Christ, giving your life to Christ, and making a decision today to live for him as best as you can. Listen, you're not going to be perfect. You're going to make some mistakes. But here's the important part. You've made the first important step, and that is dedicating your life to him and being saved. Now, here's what you need to do. I need you to find you a church home somewhere. Doesn't matter where. As long as it is a Bible teaching, Bible preaching, Bible believing, community-based church that preaches and teaches the word in a way you can understand, that you can apply to your life. Find that church, be a part of that ministry so that you can dedicate your life to that church. That you can dedicate your work and your time and your talent and your treasure to that ministry. All right. Maybe rehab is the place for you. Maybe you've heard this message and you're looking for a church home and you want to be a part of our ministry. I would love to be your pastor. Yes, even in a virtual space, people are still joining our ministry. Why? Because they understand the power of the word. The word is taught and preached in a way that they understand it. And I want to challenge you today. If you're looking for a place to call home, you should see moderators on the screen. If you would love to be a part of the Rehab Christian Center, simply like their comment. And that moderator will reach out to you, get some information from you. And we would love to welcome you to what I call not the largest church on the planet, but by far the nicest church on the planet, the Rehab Christian Center. Would love to welcome you here. Would love to walk alongside you on this journey of faith. That is your spiritual life. Don't know when our physical building will open up, but I do know that it will open. And not only will it open, but we'll be here to be able to develop you and support you as you grow on this journey that is your life. All right. So make sure you like one of those moderator comments and they'll get some information from you. Listen, it's giving time. I've got to go. It's giving time. I want to challenge you today to give. If this message, if this broadcast has been a blessing to you, I want to challenge you today to give in a special way. Listen, I'm so grateful for all of you that have been so supportive. Wow. It has been about a month and 3 weeks since we have been in this format. It's been about a month and 3 weeks since we've been in this format, virtual only format. And so many of you have been such a blessing to our ministry right where you are. And I want to thank you personally for being a blessing to us. I'm going to challenge you today to give. If this ministry has been a blessing to you, this ministry has been a blessing to your family, I want to challenge you to give. You can give one of three ways. You can give via CashAPP at $REHABCCGIVE. That's $REHABCCGIVE. You can give through our website, www.rehabcc.org. That's www.rehabcc.org. Or you can give through your cell phone. Simply text REHABWORKS to 88202. Text REHABWORKS to 88202 and write to your cell phone. You'll see a message. Click on the message. You can follow the prompts and you can give right from your cell phone. All right. So again, let me give you the three ways quickly. I want to challenge all of you to give, especially into this word today. If this word today was a blessing to you the way it was a blessing to me, wow, we had fun. Y'all need to go back and watch this replay. As you're walking, tomorrow I'll be back out working out. Pastor probably need to gain some weight. He's been losing so much weight working out, but I'll be back out and I'll put my headphones on and I'm probably going to go back and re-listen to this even myself. Make sure you go back and listen to the replay, share this replay, this message, this broadcast with someone. But if it has been a blessing to you, I'm going to challenge you to give. You can give via CashAPP, $REHABCCGIVE. Again, that's CashAPP, $REHABCCGIVE. You can give through our website by visiting www.rehabcc.org. That's www.rehabcc.org. Or through your cell phone by texting REHABWORKS. That's two words as one word, REHABWORKS, to 88202. Text REHABWORKS to 88202 and right to your cell phone. You'll see the prompts, follow the prompts, and you can then be a blessing to us right from where you are. Listen, I love all of you. I'm praying for you. I'm certainly rooting for you. I hope you have a phenomenal week. Thank you so much for tuning in to what I hope was a very powerful broadcast for you today, a very powerful message to you. And I hope you got something from this message that you can apply to your life. Listen, the reality is people are going to judge you. The good news is people have no heaven or hell to put you in, and you need to be all right with that. Once you get all right with that, then you find the courage to be who you are. You find the courage to go after what you desire. You find the courage to be everything you've been designed to be and more. And so go back and watch this replay. Take some notes. Get out your journal. I hope this message bless you. Share this video with 5 people. Tell them to tune in, and I promise you it'll be a blessing to them. All right? Do me a favor. Make plans to meet me Tuesday, 7:08 p.m. Pastor's got a crazy busy week this week. Lord, y'all pray for Pastor. 7:08 p.m. Meet us Tuesday, 7:08 p.m. for life study. Make sure you tune in. Make sure you share this video, share this broadcast with 5 people, and then make plans to join us Tuesday at 7:08 p.m. for another very powerful and practical message. And I promise you it'll be a blessing to you. All right. I love you guys. I'm praying for you. I want you to have a phenomenal week. Trying to look back and forth. I want you to have a phenomenal week. I'm praying for you. I love you. Have a great week. Have a blessed week. Don't forget, set your prayers aside this week. I want you to pray for somebody else and watch God open up doors for you. All right. I love you guys. I'm praying for you. Peace and blessings.
Thank you for watching the Rehab Christian Center live experience. If this broadcast has been a blessing to you and you would like to be a blessing to our leader, Dr. Zeb Talley III, you can sow a seed into his ministry by CashAPP at $ Pastor ZT3. It is our prayer that this message of hope encouraged, enlightened, and empowered you to be better. Please tune in Tuesday at 7:08 p.m. for our life study experience. And as always, be blessed and have a wonderful week.